The Tangled Thread. Detective Constable Aaron Walsh always heard things sideways. Not literally, not like tinnitus or voices, but her brain snagged on odd details, the ones others skipped past. She'd stopped trying to explain it. Most colleagues just thought she was a bit lively, a bit scatterbrained. But there were a few, including her DI, who quietly let her follow those odd tugs of intuition. It was a Monday in early November, cold enough that her breath fogged up her glasses as she ducked under the police tape. The flat in Brixton was a mess, though not the kind of mess you'd expect. Everything looked tidy, but wrong. A woman in her late 30s, one Sarah Patel, lay slumped over the dining table. No forced entry, no clear motive. Just a half-drunk glass of wine, an untouched dinner, and a blunt trauma wound to the back of the head. Walsh fidgeted with the cuff of her coat as she scanned the room. Her thoughts jumbled. Her notebook was already full of half-sentences. Wine on left side, cutlery laid for one, dog bowl, but no dog. Pathologist says time of death is between 7 and 9 p.m. last night, said D.S. Malik beside her. No signs of a struggle. Aaron's mind was already elsewhere. Wasn't she right-handed? Malik blinked. What? She's right-handed. She wrote a check to her neighbor last week. So why's the wine glass on the left side of the plate? He frowned. Maybe she moved it? Or maybe someone else sat there and moved it, she said, eyes narrowing. Over the next few days, the case thinned out like steam in the cold. No CCTV, no digital clues. Sarah had no known enemies. The only visitors recently were a parcel delivery guy, a building inspector, and her ex-husband, who was in Wales that night, backed by alibis. Erin's thoughts refused to stay still. They bounced between the case, a random documentary she half remembered about left-handedness and deception, and the nagging thought that something about the flat's layout was off. She couldn't sleep. Her brain wouldn't let her. At 3:17 a.m., she sat bolt upright in bed, grabbing her phone. The dog bowl. Back at the station later that morning, she tore into the scene photos. Sarah's neighbor had said her dog died 2 months ago. So why was there fresh water in the bowl? Malik didn't look convinced. Maybe she hadn't thrown it out yet. No, it was filled. That means someone either didn't know the dog was dead or they were pretending it wasn't. It hit her all at once. The building inspector. He'd logged a visit for a boiler check 2 days before the murder. But there was no work order filed with the council. She ran a background check. The ID was fake. They tracked him down, a man named Callum Reed, who'd been casing flats across South London under the guise of fake inspections. Pet owners were easier marks, he'd once said in a forum post. They're distracted. When brought in, Reed cracked under pressure. He'd expected Sarah to be out. When she returned unexpectedly and recognized that he didn't work for the council, he panicked. It wasn't premeditated, just sloppy, opportunistic, and nearly perfect, if not for one overactive mind that couldn't stop picking at loose threads. A week after the arrest, Erin sat at her desk, a fidget cube in one hand, the case file in the other. Malik dropped a biscuit on her desk. Good catch. That wine glass thing was weird, she smiled. My brain just likes patterns. He raised an eyebrow. You ever get tired of thinking so much? She smirked. Constantly, but it's nice when it pays off.